Hello everyone, so welcome back. This is part 7 of machine learning course, and today we are going to discuss a very important topic. This is about Matplotlib. For those who are unaware of the context, we will be completing machine learning from the scratch. We have covered various topics like introduction to programming, how we can approach to Python as a beginner. Then we move forward with the pandas and NumPy. And like while you're practicing all the stuff, the your core area of focus should be to learn the functionality, to learn how things happen, how each function gets called, like why it's happening if you're writing a certain line of code, not just memorizing the syntax and everything. So we will be moving with now Matplotlib, which is a very significant tool if you want to proceed with machine learning as well. There are certain reasons for that. Why? Because it empowers you to visualize the functions. And if you just Google search what Matplotlib actually is, this is basically a library, and it is the main function of this is data visualization, like how your data is scattered to various classes, uh, what are the different hidden criteria behind it, and what useful insights you can take out of your data. You can decide what features you wanted to take, and a lot of stuff like that. So you can also notice the trends as well. Like it's one of the most important aspects in sales, or if you want to move forward towards data analytics or data scientist course, not just machine learning as well. Like to see the actual insight on the data. Quality graphics it provides you, and it integrates entirely with the Python ecosystem. Like with NumPy, with Pandas, you can plot your whole data set and visualize the same. You get all the chart, plots, and visuals. And it's, yeah, the best thing about it is open source and has a massive community. Uh, if you just Google it, about it on GitHub. Yes. So that's the official repository. It's open source. You have 1.1K open issues, which you can take into consideration, contribute if you want to contribute for the same. And it's actually, if you want to learn more about it, you can. It's mostly written in Python, so all the Python enthusiasts, if you're looking for some open source contributions, you can surely try out the same. There are 407 active PRs, and yeah, it's great if you want to solve some problems while using Matplotlib. If you encounter anything and you want to contribute, feel free to try that out for the same. But yeah, there's a massive community, and like you can see, as most of the issues are already taken. They have already closed like around 10,000 issues. If you encounter anything, you can raise the same. So yeah, that's a simple Matplotlib chart. How to draw, what visual to use at what time, and what to consider, how to plot effectively the data, and what are the best practices while you're working on the project. We'll discuss everything as this video proceeds. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so for those who are unaware of how our boot camp is proceeding ahead, what path are we focusing on? Like we'll be using that roadmap for machine learning. Uh, so yeah, we have covered with mathematics, probability distributions, and everything. We have started with introduction with Python and like the basic libraries, Python and NumPy. And out of those two, we will be using Matplotlib. If you want the same, if you want to try it, feel free to try that as well. Now moving for Matplotlib, okay, so that's what they suggest. There's a learn Matplotlib in 6 minutes. Um, Try to open that video, try to go through it. It will take you through the syntax, mainly through the syntax, like how your data arrives, how to proceed with data, how to build a simple process using the data and everything. You can try out the same just to get a brief overview of how to use Matplotlib. Now, coming in detail, that's the official documentation. Go through it. They have covered like most of the topics in detail. Go through it, go to user guide, you can take the tutorials, um, and example, reference, everything. If you want to contribute, it will take you to the GitHub. Please. The current version is 3.10 stable. 3.11 is currently in dev, which is currently going on. We will be starting out with simple user guide and figures, backends, speech and everything. Yeah. By then, by last, you get there. First of all, installation, PIP install Matplotlib, a simple command you can run in your notebooks to use the same. Uh, yeah, post release, third-party distributions, setting up. You can go through the same. Shows up and yep. For Mac OS, yeah, whatever it is, you can follow the security guidelines, dependencies, and everything for installation. We'll be proceeding with quick start. But okay, photos, like what's the use if I'm not doing the hands on? So, um, that's okay. We'll be using some online notebook. Uh, Right, notebook. Yes, here we have it. So, they already have some. So, this have to have to run some here. Okay, I know we have a set. If I want to run for 71, uh, let me put this one on the selected set. Okay, yes, not random, 200, and select. So, yes. Okay, let's go before. Select the shell shift and the around three dimensions. Let's divide Z scale, shift one. Yeah. Of course, we can get it. So yeah, let me delete this one also. Then we'll be starting with and practicing with everything about Matplotlib. So yeah, let's start. Which is a start guide. Import. You can do the import number as well. Simple example is like okay, like X and Y axis how you're plotting. So we'll be taking some good. Okay, we'll start with this. So let's move ahead. Taking this. Um, okay, they already have that. They have that. Not with that. And yeah, what I want to plot? Just right here. Shift enter. We run. We get that. Uh, yes. One, two. Should take 1000. Yes, something like that. At one this. At two. At three. Half and at four. Let me give it some meaningful insight to 500. You can play around and try this one. See a simple linear minus 1000 is that easy. So you can play around like okay, now you're getting the idea. This is explode, this is y-axis, and that is plotting. Now, parts of figure is very important. So this is your key. What can I say? This is the key component of your matplotlib figure. Why? Because it tells you like how to visualize everything. Because take it as this way, like you are telling your agent or you are telling some while the lines is code, you will be telling something like I want this line, I want this grid, I want this axis, I want this line, or y axis this, major level this. So you should be able to understand why what happens if you use a certain thing. So it's very important to like if you want to visualize your data effectively, this figure should be at your fingertips. Like what do you mean by grid? What do you mean if I change the legend and everything? So yeah. Just to give you a brief overview, uh, minor ticks are these labels between 3 and 4. Major ticks are this. Y label is this line. X label is this line. X axis is what on this. Y axis is this. And line is something you get as a plot. These are the markers. If you're plotting markers, this is the grid, which is basically between one major tick of Y and one major tick of X. Legend is this. If you want the legend or not, this is the complete figure. This is the spine, headline. This is the title of your plot completely. And AXES, not axis, axis. They are just the figure subplots, like the smaller ones. So once you understand that clearly, it will be very easy, like when you encounter the lines of code, while moving ahead with complex like diagrams and everything. Okay, like how it's happening if you're writing that this line of code. So it's very important if you are clear with the basics first. Okay, now moving ahead, what is the figure? Figure is completely as you just put. Figure is plot figure. PLT is matplotlib, what we are using matplotlib. And now moving ahead, figure and axis, a single axis, a single subplot. Uh, Figure axis plot subplot with a 2 by 2 grid of axis. Okay, and figure axis equals to PLT dot subplot dot uh, subplot plus I. A convinced functional and create axis objects inside the figure, but you can also manually add axis later. Left, right top, left, right bottom. And just like me, there might be sometimes, even after you got encounter certain problems, not this. What this line does, it will tell you exactly. This code is not to a figure out where one subplot spans the entire left side, and two smaller subplots are stacked to the right. Simple. One subplot is this entirely and right top, right bottom. So left, right top, right bottom. That's three. Okay. So if you use this, and if you try out the same, will it work? Let's see. Okay, here, subplot, single sub, a plot or figure, complete figure, subplot with two grids, two axes, one left, two this. So that's how you get from those. If we remove that, this one might be removed. Yes. So 2 by 2, we know what this means, and that's how you debug. If you want a visual description, it's the same. Yeah, and okay, figure all subplots. This is a subplot, and now in that we can draw from our data as you've done before. So that's how you keep it. And now axis, as you discussed, a single axis between grades, axis scales and limits, artist, everything we should on the figure is artistic, of course. Types of input, it's a matrix by array, like each array or pandas has to be plotted in somehow what you want it to do. Fixed size is this 5 by 2.7. Layout constraint. Scattered. Okay, scatter plot is something like this. Those are not aware what a scatter plot is. Simple. We get the scatter points, not a line. So try that first. Of course, we can create a new cell. I'll be adding that. Okay. Yeah, so you're about to paste the code. Um, yeah, so tell me what, all this is done, you can try that out yourself. Um, but yeah, okay, let's play around with this little. If we keep it at 100, what changes? It's okay. And p dot tariff range 50. Let's make it 5. Will not work. Okay. So, it's all fine, I guess. Good. That one works. So, take it as 50 now. So, we are taking three data, random, random to 50 numbers, so we have 50, random 50. Okay, let's make it 10. So, it will be easier for us to visualize. So, and it should work now, yes. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yes. We get 10 in between. Yeah, there. Okay. And now data B, data A plus. Okay, we are modifying B into 10 random numbers, A plus 10 random numbers, and absolute value of B into 100. Okay. So, yes, in this subplot, figure of size 5 2.7. And what if we try and upgrade it to 3.7? Get a bigger one, and yes, we can get till there. Layout is constrained. Okay, how much we can play with this? What are the types of layout? That must be not, if not here, that must be somewhere else. Okay, we will cover that later on. But if, okay, let's, let us wonder how much type of layouts are there. I guess I remember of few. How many are there? The two main types of modern, constrained and type, in compressed or none. So yeah, you will mostly use none, but it's important to know what are the types. Right now, includes simplifies legacy code bases. Here, you will not understand a thing without your friend. So there's no use. Right is something. If you can visualize the difference, it's fine. Uh, if you cannot, welcome to the. Okay. You will see that the move to the visual, they will change up a bit. And then what we are doing, we are using a setup, but we can using a line as well. I guess. Oh no, that's not how it use. We simply use plot for the line, and it has some different types of entries as well. So scatter will work for this because it requires two types of input and scatter. A is different, B is different, C S is equals to B, data type data, and entry A, entry B, entry this side, entry B this side. Okay, these are some X label, Y label, and all the type of points that are being plotted. So if we remove C from here and from here as well, how much will it change? The type changes suddenly. So okay, the C what is C doing? Basically, it's relating the type of responses we are getting. 1, 2, 3, 4, like different. So it's nice if a certain range, um, it will be one of type. Now, moving ahead using the O style and the implicit interfaces. So plot some data on the axis. Okay, just for you to look around and play with the code. Try that also. Yes. Now, once you're familiar with the Stylo guides, you can try out the various methods as well. Like basically the output style is this simple plot, or you have the pie plot style. If you use figure or axis, you can use them. Either you can simply do it from the plt.plot segments, and you can define everything out there. Like set x label, you can simply set x label by x, so x label, plot x cube label cubic. Uh, Basically, on the x-axis, x cube, on the x-axis, x square, on the x-axis, how x moves, linear quadratic cubic, X, all those, but you can simply do that and with the PLT as well, if you want legends or not. So, uh, this is the standard, sorry, this is the standard practice. Define the axis, you move like that. But, of course, if you want to try out, you can try out um, x dot plot x cube of 4, table quadratic, and you're good to go. Yes, that's very simple. So, see, if you understand how it moves, it's clear for now. This is not the correct standard practice. You must simply divide your code into segments and follow a simple pattern, like set an X label, Y label. Okay, you can set them with more meaningful as well, value and function value. So, if you have got it get right there, you can see here. Just improve the readability. Simple plot, not simple plot. Title is values versus function values. That's simple. So that's how you can change graphics as well, design as well, how you want the plots to be uh, perceived by the users as well. By just modifying a few bits, and you should always follow the best practices. Just because it enables to change the code as well. Yeah, we'll take it as here. Using a helper function, you can also define a helper function that just simply prepares your data, what you want it to be visualized as well. You can call that helper function. Here we are creating my plotter, data 1, data 2, description type, how your data 1 to be linked with data 2, and based on those, my plotter filter, like how you want your data to be visualized. and you can call that function again and again by just passing out the data, and it will be utilized in the different ways as well. So starting artist styling is something that you should be more keen to try out and visualize yourself. Like there are hundreds and thousands of styles. If you just like change the style, change the width, and change the line and length and dimension, you can get five. And you can like out of five, you can create. If you're good with maths, you can create around like factorial of five. That much combination of using two or using three, and 5C2, 5C3, you can get 50 to 60 combinations for just five. And there are certain colors as well. If you're using them, if you are adding more data types, you can certainly add more styling features in your like data set as well. So these things will go on as you try. But okay, how you will master what you have done by just practice. These things will not come into a very straight away. So we just have to go there and let me define data one. We just want data one, right? So yes, okay. Uh, data one is NP random. Make four random data sets. Okay, so we can have four out there. Simple. You get the plot, line with not three. I want to get a thin line. Nice style. Okay, this is something I have to understand. Nice, nice single dash, continuous line. Um, double dash, you get something like dash lines. And if I'm not wrong, not by dot. Okay, not start. Okay. Then again, you go back to Google. Single dash solid, double dash, dash dot. Okay. So dotted you use column. If you use column, you get the dotted lines. So based on your requirements, based on what you want to be depicted, and yeah, what you want to be shown, you define all those functionalities, and it will change accordingly. Colors, it's simple. Once we work with all those, these are the 30 topics that we will cover faster. So, color is what? Okay, how you define the color? Uh, let me do in this one only. Color black, simple as that. Face color, edge color, these certain types of colors that you can go through them. Okay, if you want your data to be marked down, you can use these like as markers as well. Or you can some circle. D is okay. What your data to diamond? In place of E, we have triangle and S is square. Is V shape basically. So that's something you have to memorize. Let me just share the edge of the code as dummy and for this as well. Simple as that. If you just for changing a few things, labeling plots, you can also label the plots as well. X label, Y label, and set title. And after that, okay, there's this labeling. Inside the plot is, okay, yeah, at 75 days, you can plot this as well. So that's something. When you want to show the key insights in certain aspects of the data, like this is the break-even point, or using certain issues like this is the tensile strength point, I'm talking about physics. Or let's move towards some machine learning, like this is the learning rate parameter, this is where the error is minimum, this is where the gradient algorithm is used. So if you want to use all these features, or skills as well, if you are calculating or all the other stuff, then that's the thing you can use your code very much. Set title, sigma value, of course, if you want to display like a simple local maximum, annotate local max with which is uh, the maximum. You can also define the arrow, yet the arrow should be pointing. So these are the certain things I will be adding. So let's add and go important certain kind of section. Or inside data display. Okay, the separate line of this will not be inside data plus values. Just in case if it's one to be funny, setting this forward. Okay, so yeah, once we are done with all that, we can use various mathematical expressions, also annotations. Legends here if you want, if you don't want, by labeling axis scales and ticks. Yeah, axis 1 and 2, one is figure, two axis, figure size this, constraint layout, X data is this, data 10 to data 1, what we actually have. X axis 0 dot plot, X data, axis 1, set y scale log, and we are plotting like, of course, X data and data. So that's simply we are calculating the log as well. So you can do that. And yeah, tick locators and formatters, automatic ticks, manual tick, like we want the data in this way. Uh, for dates and strings. So for date, use NP to date time and 64 bits or like random dates. Then you have the random length, the categories, turnips, cucumber, pumpkins, figures are that constrained, categories this, and in categories random from all these values. You have straight line, you have the sine wave, and for the sine wave, you can use plot to x axis to this, I'll do this, angle gradient, axis and degree gradient, straight second, and L1, L2, L1 is basically the sine wave, T and S, and what are the T and S, and that have to be defined. So, okay, if we use, we might throw an error on this. course TNS are not defined. So let's just go back to see TNS are not defined anywhere close what we have covered. So yeah, it's supposed to show some error and how to fix this. And before cleaning, TNS. Um, Let me just find or we'll get $100. One is here, get the cost there. So yeah, we'll be taking them. Thank you very much. And yes, you can also use the sine wave. Wait, do you also have a 10? Sine left, okay. Good. That's not like that. What is that? What do we have for percent? We don't have percent, so yeah. Two have for log. Simple. So try that out for the same, and yes. Now, um, yeah, color map data, you can map the colors in different way as well. You can use the heat chart, contour maps. Okay, that's a really good idea. Show the contour map heights and everything. Uh, Let me just see how we are managing all the formats. So this one's supposed to be interesting. Say the time where we can. Okay, it takes some time to generate. So yeah, here's the contour one. Go and let's see. Okay, contour we have this, line space, this, layering, color bar. Okay, we have the color bar at the right, set title contour, and AXS the one contour F. Okay, we have Z as a function defined. So basically, okay, so for those who don't understand, like we are defining a Z function, and this is some quadratic equation. The quadratic equation reads 1 minus x upon 2 plus x square upon 5 plus y plus x to the power 5 plus y cube and into np dot express minus x square minus y square. So that basically helps us to plot this. So that's something dancing here. And if we change it to a over 4, let's see what it changes. Yeah, you get a different contour altogether and you change just simply. So it's basically that expression. Uh, and that's how like useful math comes in when this is used. So there's expression the entire like contour changes. Now based on this, we are just doing like heat map. How to draw a heat map? Color bar on the right side, more saturated. Then X, Y, Z, three axes. Vim, Vmax, red, blue colors, and key color mesh is already defined. Contour functions defined, and show with log norm defined, scatter is also defined. So these are all the predefined. And for the contour, you want the three data sets, and yeah, it's really simple. If you want to like try the same, simple for the color bars for multiple figures and multiple axes. You can work with multiple axes, and yeah, you can like okay, I can simply just paste this. You can download the whole notebook, or you can also download the one that we have done. Some of the experiments and everything, figures and backends. That is figure the backend want to color, you want to display certain things as well. And if you have figures, face color, standalone scripts, interactive uses, so creating figures, lefts of figure, rights of figure, and yeah, writing a backend, plot interference. So that's where you want your data to be interacted by the backend, you want your figures to be defined. So yeah, you try all of those stuff, access uploads, how to play around them, all the Excel I've told you, creating access, plotting methods. Okay, once we go to the plotting methods, yeah, the different styles which we have already covered. Aspect auto aspect is free. Now placing color bars. If you want to show the color bars, what we have done in like the last one of the quick starting guide, how you want the color bar to be displayed for common, and yeah, you can adjust this as per as your requirements, as per the need, with just simple change in the lines. So yeah, and let me tell you in brief, it's very difficult to remember all those stuff as you proceed to learn. But of course, it's different if you want to proceed in the machine learning course. Uh, it's nice to have an overview. It's nice to have a little understanding, little depth understanding, like what all you can do with Matplotlib and how you can do with all those stuff. But okay, uh, like this is not a main target. This is a part of the of what we're trying to do. So you must understand that it's very difficult for you to remember each and everything in detail. It will be good if you remember the syntax. It's required is necessary the basic syntax, what x and y axis, how you do plot, how to change the labels, colors, title, everything. But once you start to deep dive in it, the things become like you should remember what are the powers in your hand, basically what all you can do with the visualization data as well. Because syntax, for now, while working in the project, while working in the industry, you can just look at the syntax, but you should be clear with your understanding what you wanted to do. With the syntax, AI can help, you can just Google it up. For the interview purpose as well, if you want your interviews to do with Matplotlib, they simply want to test your knowledge. They want to test like, okay, this is the data, it's the visualization I want. How you're going to do that? So once you know, like you want to create the separate, they will not ask you the exact line of code. They will ask you, like, if you remember that the peak elements is a function out there, for how much row columns it is defined, what are the libraries you will be using, what are the function parameters you will be using. So it's important that you remember all those stuff, red, blue colors, where it is uh, basically where it is a sentiment. It stands for green to black. Okay, so yeah, for the line as well. Yeah, there we have where it is. Certain, yeah. Same here as well. So yeah, it's important if you remember all those aspects while working with the same. Auto scale you can also auto scale based on data if it's going, if it's not going. It's very important if you want your data to be exactly covered inside the figure. You do not wanted it to be going out or missing some important information. So that's where the auto scaling comes in. Yes, you can do all of those stuff. And since we have covered its scales, so subplot mosaic also, if there is a subplot mosaic or you wanted to display histogram, this is what we call a histogram, image text plot, as bar charts. Okay, yeah, you can always define your subplots, how much you want to do. Colors is something we have gone through. Text is something that you should focus on. This is the property, like horizontal alignment, multi-alignment, variance. You should go through all alpha, box, flip box, family, what font family we are using, positions, transform, variant, and everything. So it's like as important for you to play around with all those stuff to try and visualize and to get like, okay, just a simple exercise for you while you're learning. Take the data set, uh, certain data, build random data from number arrays or pandas, and based on that data set, try out creating different plots with specific informations and different charts. With Matplotlib, just 2 or 3 will be enough. It will just take 2 3 hours. Once you will be able to do it, you will be clear with the basic functionalities, the basic libraries that you have to use, and also you will be like pretty much clear of the next goal that you want to achieve using the same. So that's a starter exercise that you can try as well. Installation and everything. You can download the notebooks, and yes, you can customize them as much as you want, from simple to heavy. Like they have just shared some live. Okay, that's an important. The default Matplotlib library RC5. You can customize everything like that from label access states. You can also customize your own styles, own functions, own patterns, and everything. So yeah, feel free to proud, feel free to play with that as well. And while you are learning, be open for questions. You want to ask me, you want to ask Google, use ChatGPT and everything. It will be super beneficial for you guys to try, actually to try out, to play, to be confident with whatever you wanted to do. And once you're confident with the like syntax, you can play around with everything. So that's just the starting points, basically Matplotlib. Once you're covered with that, then we will do data collection, data formats, and data cleaning. These all will just gonna take one day, one session. And after that, we'll be moving with the core concept machine learning. What are the types, how, and like what are the values? Believe me, I've been recently working on some algorithms, preparing for some interviews. I've gone through all of them in detail and it's super fun. Not to just like learn, but while building on them and testing everything that comes in the way. So it will be nice if you try out that as well. But yeah, try out the same. Uh, if you want, you can contribute in the Matplotlib. That's something that I can share you the link as well. Yes, so uh, feel free to try and have fun with it. And for any questions, anything you wanted to ask, feel free to ask in the comments as well. And yeah, I apologize for the delays because I've been like quite busy with okay, as the few interview scheduled and with some other stuffs as well. They went not that good, but okay, there's something to learn from them as well, like what we have to do when moving ahead and how to proceed with various stuffs. So it will be nice. It was a nice experience, and yes, uh, yeah. So for the video, please like, comment, and share, and keep learning. You can also post on the social media handles like Engineering with Dhruv uh, while you're working on the same. Till then, take care. Bye bye.